Okay, sixth graders, we're going to continue with the transformation project, and we are going to specifically work with reflections today. So let me give you a visual of what we're doing. You're done with your original. It's labeled with letters, it's outlined, it's colored. You're done with your translation. This is also labeled, outlined, and colored. And then today we're going to be working on the reflection. Let me give you an example of one that's done here. I should have started with this one. You have your original. You translated. Today, we're going to reflect. Our figure is going to start in the first quadrant. You're going to reflect that over the y-axis. And then you're going to take this figure and reflect it over the x-axis. And you can choose to reflect this here like this, or you can go back to the original and reflect it over this way. It's your choice. Notice that the letters are moving spots. So let me just give you an example. Here's E. If I'm reflecting it, E is going to be 2 units away from the y-axis on both sides. E is not going to be translated. E is not going to be over here. So you have a couple of options when you're doing this. You can choose to watch the whole video and then do your reflection, or maybe you want to take the video step by step. Maybe you want to watch a little bit of the video, push pause, catch your project up, watch a little more of the video, push pause, and catch your project on, so on and so forth. You can choose to print out the reflection sheet, or if you don't have a printer, you can do this right on graph paper. And I'm going to do this right on graph paper to show you what to do if you're someone that doesn't have access to a printer. So this was my original. This was my translation. I'm not done yet. I'd have to finish that. I'm now going to work with reflection. So right at the top, I'm going to write reflection so it's labeled. Then I'm going to make a coordinate plane. I'm using those blue grid lines to guide me. And then my biggest ordered pair was 11, so I have to go to 11 on each side. If you're someone that printed the worksheet, you do not have to do this step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, your image, this is my original worksheet, or you're looking at this right here. You're going to draw your original in the first quadrant. So I'm taking these ordered pairs and I'm drawing my original right here. So A is 3, 9. B is 11, 9. C is 11, 7. D is 8, 7. 8, 2 for E. 6, 2 for F. G is 6, 7. And H is 3, 7. I'm going to connect that with a straight edge. Okay, now it's time for reflection. Some people are going to be able just to look at this and reflect it. A lot of people, when they were working on the worksheet, were not successful with that, and they had to redo it and use the second method that I'm going to show you. The first method, when reflecting into the second quadrant, is just to see how far away each ordered pair is from the y-axis. So A is 1, 2, 3 units away from the y-axis, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3 units away on the other side. Then I would go to B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 units away from the y-axis, so 11 units away on the other side. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, for some people that's hard. So the other option that I taught you was using these ordered pairs. If we're reflecting over the y-axis up and down, you take your original ordered pair and you take the opposite of the x value. So if these are my originals, I'm going to write the new ordered pairs. So if A is 3, 9, I take the opposite of my x value and get negative 3, 9. And if B is 11, 9, I take the opposite of the x value and get a negative 11, 9. And I'm just going to do that for all of these ordered pairs. This is a sure way, if you use this method, to get the correct answer. I'm just taking the opposite of all the x values. G is negative 6, 7. H is negative 3, 7. And that's it. So now that I found the opposite of all the x values, I'm going to graph these ordered pairs. A is negative 3, 9. B is negative 11, 9. C is negative 11, 7. D is negative 8, 7. And I'm putting the prime there because it's the second figure. Negative 8, 2 for E. F is negative 6, 2. G is negative 6, 7. And negative 3, 7. Now I want you to kind of check your figure when you're done to make sure it's reflected and not just translated. Because my figure is symmetrical, has a vertical symmetrical line down the middle, a common mistake would be just to move A from here to here. That would be a translation, but you got to think about it flipping. If A is right here and I'm flipping over the y-axis, A should be over here, not here. Okay, so now we're going to translate from the second quadrant to the third quadrant. Now we're translating over the x-axis. So I take my ordered pairs from the second quadrant. This was from the second quadrant. Let me use Roman numerals. That's a 2 in Roman numerals. Let me draw it another way. That's confusing. Roman numeral 2, and then I was underlining it. Okay. I'm going from the second quadrant to the third quadrant, and I'm reflecting over the x-axis. So I'm going to put the third quadrant's Roman numerals here, just on a scratch piece of paper. If I'm reflecting over the x-axis, and this is the original ordered pair, I must take the opposite of the y. Okay, so I'm going to take the originals. This is the new original, and I need to take the opposite of the y term. So the new A will be negative 3, negative 9. The new B, opposite of the y term, is negative 9. The new C is opposite of the y term. And I'm just going to find the opposite of all the y's. And then graph those. Okay, so I have negative 3, negative 9. I'm only going to do a couple of these because you kind of get the idea here. Negative 11, negative 9. You can see that this is the top of the T. Negative 11, negative 7. Negative 8, negative 7. Okay, so I'm going to stop. What you can see, my T is kind of forming like this. It's going to be upside down. So your job is going to be to finish reflecting in the third quadrant, and then you're going to need to reflect in the fourth quadrant. I would just take these ordered pairs and reflect them over the y-axis. So take these ordered pairs and reflect them over the y-axis following these rules. When you're finished with drawing your figures in all 4 quadrants, you're going to outline in black marker or Sharpie and color.